Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Coach Candy with Coffee Chats. My apologies, I'm running just a few minutes late, but welcome everybody. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your water, grab your juice, grab whatever it is that gets you rocking and rolling in the morning. It is Friday morning. Can you believe it's Friday already? We were just talking about it. Feels like a Saturday. So welcome. Good to see everybody. Let's see. Deborah, good morning. Good morning, Yvette. How are you ladies doing? Happy Friday. Terry, good morning. So good to see you all on a Friday, and I'm so glad I get to see you today. Good morning, Kathy. I'm so excited I get to see you all today. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to make it with the schedule for the conference. Sarah, good morning. Wow, I love this. Several people jumping on that are new. Good morning, everyone. Cheers. I am here in Dallas right now. I'm actually here with a friend of mine. We are just getting our morning going for the Rachel Hollis event, the Rise event. Here, yes, I'm trying to confuse a girl, Terry. New backdrop. I am in Dallas at an Airbnb. We are getting ready, which is why I wasn't sure I would be able to get on this morning, but getting ready to go to Rachel Hollis's Rise event here. And so super excited because it doesn't start till 10, and by the time we get over there for registration and all, it gave me a few minutes to be here with all of you. So super excited. So yes, new background, new way that I'm positioned, trying to make this so this worked. Had a little bit of technical difficulties this morning, but doesn't matter as long as I get to be here with all of you. So actually that leads me to the conversation for today. I want to talk about opportunities and ways that you're growing yourself. And so as we're sitting here, I'm getting ready to go to an event that truthfully wasn't even on my radar, right? And how many times do you have something, good morning, Martha. How many times do you have something that doesn't show up on your radar? It's one of those things that shows up as an opportunity. And that's exactly how I ended up in Dallas this weekend. A friend of mine that we've kind of reconnected and started going to lunch and starting to hang out a little bit more again, sent me an invite one day and said, would you want to go with me and be my guest? I'd love to gift you a ticket. I'm really looking for somebody who gets this kind of space, really focuses on their self-improvement, professional growth. I've got an extra ticket to go to the Rise event for Rachel Hollis. Now, I know for some of you might not know who Rachel Hollis is. She's really made, especially on Instagram, she's really done a lot for her following and done a lot. She does a lot for women's empowerment. She's a mompreneur, and I follow her. I was actually introduced to her from Brendan Burchard, and all of you know Brendan is my man. But Brendan had introduced Rachel as the way she went about and organically built her list and her following and some things that she was doing in her business. And so I got introduced to her and I started following her. To be perfectly honest, I still haven't read either one of her books, the one that's Girl Wash Your Face or the other one, Stop Apologizing. So I have to say this wasn't really on my radar, right? This wasn't something that I was like, thank you. Yes, I agree. And I'm very blessed just to have the invitation, right? And so thank you, Martha. Wasn't on my radar. Most of you know I do a lot of different things to feed myself, right? And so one of the things I want to talk about this morning is, one, are you taking opportunities just in general to feed yourself? We've talked a lot about your calendar, the way you show up, the way you're managing your focus, the bookends, how you're laying out your ideal calendar. And that there should be space every day, at least 30 minutes every day for you to feed your soul, to feed your mind, to feed your body. We need deliberate, intentional space to grow, to hone our craft, to sharpen the saw, whatever it is you want to call it. Are you taking that time right now? And so, as I'm sitting here in Dallas and I'm thinking about, man, this wasn't even on my radar this year, because I tend to map out most of my events for the year. I need to, with the work that I do budget-wise, right? Because it can get really expensive. I am a self-growth, self-development guru. I am an addict in that space. So I honestly, if I could find a way, and I'm still working on that, if I could find a way to make a living just to go to other people's conferences and just go to other events, I would do that in a heartbeat, and train once a month. That would be so amazing, because I'm a voracious learner. I love to soak that up. And so I'm curious from those of you that are on this morning, and love that there's so many people that haven't been on before, haven't been on in a while, joining. How do you feed that space for yourself? What are some of the things you do to really be intentional about your own professional growth, your own personal growth? How are you flexing that muscle? How are you honing and, that craft, sharpening that saw? And do you take those opportunities when they present themselves if they weren't planned? Because that sometimes when I talk about, okay, you got something that showed up, here's the prioritization for asking yourself, does it fit with where you're at, right? And a lot of times the first question is, was this planned? Well, obviously my answer is no, this was not planned for me. The next question is then, do I feel like this is something that will help me grow, right? Or do I feel like it's something I need to do right now? Does it feel like it's the right opportunity? And good morning, Tim. And it's all new to you. I love that. But I love that you're digging in full force, Yvette. And so how many of you, this is kind of a new space for you, that you're like, I'm just finally honoring that space for my own personal growth, my own professional growth. How many of you, this is a practice that you've been doing every day and you're really deliberate about how you honor that? Like for me, there's a minimum of 30 minutes a day that's about me honing my craft. It's about me stepping up and really making sure I can be the best I can be. And as a trainer, as a facilitator, as a coach, I need to make sure that I'm going out and extracting some of the messaging, some of the training, some of the opportunity that's out there so that I can then synthesize that and bring that back to you. And, many of you that have worked with me, I real time, right? I'm in the moment. When something shows up for me, I want to train it right away. First of all, that's part of my learning process, that I suck it in. I'm a voracious learner. And then I get into a space where I'm like, how can I teach this? How can I train this? How can I dial this down, synthesize this, and make this an opportunity to share that with you, right? And so I'm curious, Deborah, let's see. Oh, Yvette, I love that. I'm open to all kinds, kind of open to everything. I love that. Being wide open is so amazing, especially when you're playing in this space. Tim, good morning. Deborah, I'm going to a training this weekend. That was not something I planned. It was gifted to me. Oh, I love that. Oh, and I love that you're honoring that, right? Because the same thing here. My friend gifted me this opportunity. And I could have easily been like, no, I've got too much going on. No, it's not the right time. And I was like, this is a gift. This is something that showed up for someone, one, that I want to spend more time with. I want to build a deeper relationship with. So that in itself is a gift. And we've already, just in our drive here, because it's, 3.5, 4 hour drive from Austin to Dallas, our drive yesterday, our last night, even if the event isn't what we think it's going to be, I've already gotten the most amazing gift out of this weekend simply in us spending time together and really being able to build that connection. And if you remember Monday, I talked a lot about contact and connection and where we can build those relationships. Such a gifted opportunity, right? And feeling so blessed that I honored that for myself, and giving myself a break, right? July's been a little bit more of a relaxed month for me, and it's been a little bit more of a receiving month, which is something that I keep working on and keep struggling with a little bit. And one of the things I'm going to start bringing to you guys is something that I'm just recently digging into, but I want to have a little bit more space around it before I bring it, and it's around human design. And it was something that one of my clients introduced to me, and it's amazing how shifting some things in my natural emotion, my natural energetic blueprint, that is making all the difference in the world. And one of the things that's been showing up for me is that I'm not supposed to be initiating and pushing things so much. I'm supposed to be responding to what's showing up. And so I love that. And I just think about, how receiving right now is part of that equation, right? And so Terry, I leave tomorrow for an annual week at Christian Family Camp. I can't wait to decompress, sink into God's love and hear, and I can't see the rest of that because it's not letting me open it. I love that. I love that you're going. Looks like a lot of us are filling our minds and our hearts and our spirits this weekend. Martha, I'm headed this morning to a 2-day Dale Carnegie workshop. Oh, I had not planned on, through Higher Texas. If you have not, I will tell you, I went through the process to be a trainer for Dale Carnegie. I've done a lot of Dale Carnegie training. That will be an incredible, powerful weekend for you. It is the workshop is going to make you uncomfortable at spots, but it's going to help you shift and grow. Martha, I am super excited that you are doing that. I cannot wait to hear what happens as a result. And so please, I'm looking forward to these updates on Monday. There's a lot of people doing some personal and professional development this weekend. So Deb, Terry, Martha, I want to hear what's feeding your soul this weekend when we get back on Monday. So I hope you'll share. I hope you'll share your experience because that's amazing, right? That's amazing. And I love that for most of you, it was a gifted opportunity. It wasn't even something that you had planned, which makes it even that much more powerful sometimes when it shows up unexpectedly, when it shows up and just presents itself, right? And so what an amazing thing to receive. And so for the rest of you, let's talk about the weekend. Let's talk about ways that you can feed yourself. I want to challenge you a little bit and invite you to open up a space not only to rest and recharge. Weekends really are that space for us to allow ourselves. My update's a week from Monday. I get 7 whole days. Oh, excellent. Terry, that's fantastic. Well, we'll miss you next week, but know that you're going to be having an intentionally powerful time. And so, yes, we definitely want the update the following Monday. For the rest of you, what are the things you're going to do this weekend? What's something that you're willing to step forward and say, you know, for the weekend, this is a way I'm going to feed my soul, or I'm going to feed my mind, or I'm going to feed my appetite for learning and growth. What's something that is maybe calling to you? Maybe it's that book that's been sitting there for a while, or maybe it's The Shift by Wayne Dyer. You know I talk about that a lot. Maybe it's watching The Secret. Maybe it's whatever it is. Would love to know what are some of the ways this weekend that you can go out. I'm going to invite and challenge you a little bit because it looks like there's a good theme going on with all y'all around these opportunities, these gifts that are coming in, and we've got so many people that are going to be out feeding themselves in that capacity. I'm curious, how about the rest of you? What's going on? What do you plan for this weekend? And how are you going to honor some of that space for yourself? And, you know, I think about Yvette, if you're open to everything, what's a way that you can open up even bigger, right? What's the expansive space? Oh, I love that. Kathy, you've got a weekend too. Man, this is the weekend for training. Empowered Empath Weekend Seminar. Okay, Kathy, I want to learn more about that. Just the name alone, I got chills in my body, and I'm like, ooh, Empowered Empath. I'm such a deep empath. So I would love to learn more about the seminar that you're doing this weekend. That sounds absolutely incredible. I want to know more, so please, please, please give a report on Monday. I'm going to hold some of you accountable to that. I want to know what's going on. Oh, that's really, where's that at, Kathy? Is that in Houston or is that in Dallas? Where is that? I think you're in, I can't remember. Are you in Dallas? I think you're in Dallas, aren't you, Houston? I don't remember where you're located. Yvette, I attended a training day for my business last Saturday, invited multiple people. Only one was able to come, but I was, and I can't see the rest of these for whatever reason, the way I've got my Facebook Live set up, I am not able. So I will make sure I go back to some of these comments that I can't see fully so that I can go back and weigh in, because I definitely love that you guys are weighing in. Kathy, or Song, reading my book, Launch, and also relaxing and working on my newest addition to my business. Love that. You guys are so intentional this weekend. A lot of growth opportunities, a lot of action, a lot of ways to level up and take things to the next business or next level. So love that. And like I said, several of you, I want to hear the feedback. And it's Dallas. Moorhan, I do not know who that is. All right, Kathy, I'm going to have to check that out because you've got my curiosity piqued. I thought you were in Dallas. Morgan Lynn. I'm going to have to check that out. I am, as I'm going down like a tangent hole because my little shiny object radar just went, ooh, that's awesome. And I want to dig into that. Good morning, Christine. Yes, for those of you that are typically not a big reader and you started reading, I'm going to offer you some other ways to get more like opportunities to read. Not everybody, I grew up a voracious reader. It's one of the things my mom modeled really well. She reads every night. She either does a puzzle or reads every night. And so it was something I saw as a kid, and it was a way that my imagination really got activated. So I lost myself in books. In fact, dealing with some of the trauma from my dad, it was my safe space was to really get immersed in a book. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe was one of those. I literally would sit in my closet with a light and pretend I could go to Narnia, and I would my imagination would expand, and it became really important for me to have that safe space. And I found that books really created that safe space, whether it was A Wrinkle in Time that Suzanne Delacruz introduced to me in 7th grade, one of probably my favorite teacher of all time. She and I still keep in touch. She really helped me open up a love for reading. She really helped me open up a love for writing. She was the first person ever to read my poetry. I still have the original note she wrote me, and it was so loving and so compassionate, and it was just such a way to lift me up, where I had another teacher later on who, had he been the first person, I may have never written again. And so you think about those influences, right? But what I was going to say, Yvette, is if you find yourself struggling sometimes to actually read, then really invest in Audible, or invest in other ways that you can get that. Do podcasts, do short snippets. Yes, Miss Delacruz, wasn't she awesome? Suzanne was amazing. But find the ways to get short snippets of information. Find shorter books, a lot less content, but like really jams in. That's how I write. My books are like 100 pages. You just get in, you get out, be brief, be bright, be gone. Podcast, audiobooks. One of the things I do is I listen to audiobooks anytime I have what I call windshield time. So it's when I'm driving. Like if I wasn't driving yesterday with a friend to Dallas, I would have knocked out an audiobook, because I would have just been listening. I would have been consuming. It's a 3.5 hour really boring drive on 35 North from Austin to Dallas. There is nothing to see. So I'm going to listen to a book and just pay attention to traffic, right? I do that when I'm on a plane. Usually I do Kindle more than I do Audible, but the plane is a great space. I also do it when I'm walking Peyton or taking a walk. I don't really take walks by myself, because if I'm going to, I feel guilty that Peyton's not with me. But a lot of times I will listen to books and podcasts when I'm walking. There's people that do it when they're on the treadmill, or when they're doing other things. So it doesn't have to be that you're reading. Find ways to extract the information that you want. Find ways to allow yourself. And if you're more of an auditory person, or you don't have the kind of time, there are certain things that you can stack, that you don't have to be fully present in either one, and you will still get amazing things from that. And so, yes, Christine, love books. Kept me sane too, right? Yeah, books are my world. I was one of those kids, when I would go to, I had 2 safe spaces that really were around reading. One was I would go to the public library and walk in and just smell the old books. I love libraries. I so geek out over libraries and old bookstores. God, I love old bookstores. The smell of the musty books. There is something about the smell of a book that just, I feel like that scene in, You've Got Mail, where Meg Ryan talks about newly sharpened pencils, because I have a school supply addiction. I have admitted that many times. But that space where you walk in and you can smell the books. But I used to have a corner in the library that I would show up so much that the librarian actually created a little space with pillows and blankets, because I would spend a Saturday and escape my house at the public library. And so I got to know I had my own little corner, and so she made me kind of a nest. I think she knew I needed that. And then I had a favorite tree that was right on the little pond in Rantoul, that there was this perfect tree that you could put your back against and you could read. And so some of that is also for those of you that never really embraced reading, and maybe an opportunity is create an environment for yourself. It's like when you meditate. Reading to me is very meditative, and so I always have a space. I have a way that I arrange myself on my sofa, and I have my tea, and I create a haven where it's really purposeful. And so Yvette, that might be something as you are learning how to maybe indulge yourself more in that space, is create a space that makes you look forward to this like safe haven, to this really this like amazing warm bubble that takes you out of the rest of the world and lets you immerse. Because for me, that's what reading is all about. It's about me escaping the daily grind. It's about me losing myself. And I love to read both fiction and nonfiction. I read a lot more nonfiction now, business books, and even some of those, just to lose myself in that and not be distracted. I don't have my phone by me. I don't do whatever. And I give myself just that gift of creating kind of that warm bubble, that envelope to say, I just for a little while, I want to check out. I want to go somewhere else. And I love the way Robin Sharma says this. Think about the fact that when you read a book, it's your opportunity to have a conversation with the author. So I think about some of the people, I think about Robin Sharma or Brendan Burchard or Brene Brown, and I feel as if I'm having a conversation with them. In fact, when I do the audio, I'm sure there's people that think I'm one of those loony people that talks to myself, which I do. And I will actually like speak out loud where I'm like, I don't know if I agree with that, Brendan. And I'm like, I will honestly be talking to them as I'm hearing things through the book, right? And but then again, there's also, you know, a lot of voices going on in my head. There's a whole board of advisors up there, and so you never know who's weighing in. And I like to tell you guys, if you ever watched the show Herman's Head back in, I think it was the early 90s, where there was like, he had 4 different voices. I have like 400. I'm just saying, he had the jock and the scholar and the woman and the partier, and I had like 5 times that, right? So needless to say, I am definitely one of those people that sometimes is speaking, because I'm a think out loud person. I process externally my thoughts, and I process internally my feelings. And so sometimes I have to speak it out loud. But I've caught people looking at me weird sometimes, because I'll say something, I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome. And they'll look at me and I'm like, oh yeah, that was out loud. And I just wave and smile, and I'm like, yeah, I'm the crazy girl walking around the street. So yes, it's so easy to go and be in other worlds. I totally agree, Christine. Yvette, yeah, the books I'm getting into are short, so I'm more open to that. Awesome. Terry, Get Abstract is fairly low class and gives you summary and key points of Zillion's books, kinds of like Cliff's or Spark. Yes, please. And my friend Tanisha is here with me. This is who gifted me my rise. So
Hi,
welcome. This is
good
Tanisha.
morning.
She's been on our mornings sometimes, but now you get to meet her live.
So somebody just said Abstract, and I just wanted to tell you guys about this new app called Blinkist. I don't know, I think it's like $14, but you, maybe a month, but you can download book abstracts. And so like this, I'm re-listening to The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People in like 25 minutes.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
so
a
it's really awesome.
thank you.
Let me see if I
and
can
yeah, it's this
show
little
it.
one.
That
little
right?
one with the green dot.
There
yes,
it is.
that one.
Yes,
and
Blinkist.
I will tell you that's awesome, because that's one that CEOs and executives use, because oftentimes too, just so you know, I don't always read a book to the end. I know, right? Like Tanisha, everybody's there. I love that. Look at all the people showing up this morning.
How fun.
I know, right? And what's interesting is, like, I don't read every book to the end, because most books, it's the first couple chapters is all you need, and then it gets into the repetitive. It's just more stories. It's whatever. A good writer will give you what you need up front. And then just keep reiterating some of that point. And so think about that. It's more taking the time. Yvette, find small pockets.
awesome.
It could be reading a chapter, by the way. Thank you, Tanisha. It could be reading like a chapter. A chapter will take you anywhere from like 5 to 15 minutes, depending on how fast you read. Also, don't think you have to read every word. Kind of skim through and see if something's calling to you. Find what works for you. What I find is too many people will say, and Terry, thank you for the Get Abstract. I like that as well. Blinkist is really powerful. YouTube has lots of free book readings too. Yeah, some of them are funny. Oh my God, speaking of which, before you do that, because you guys are chiming in so fast, this is awesome. I'm going to come back to that. Yeah, I'm big on nonfiction, getting into personal and professional development. Love that. Shout out to Herman's Head. Tim, you're my man. I love that. I love that you know what Herman's Head is. Some of you are like, what? And I know Tanisha was laughing when I said that. Tanisha, you rock. Thank you. I love that. Doesn't she? She's awesome. And I just, love her to pieces. Christine, thank you. Song, reading a lot as well. Kathy, or hi Tanisha. Paul, welcome. How did your meeting go yesterday, Paul? We were cheering for you. Hope it went great. The Nibble Theory is a great small book that helps you understand your kernel of power and how there's space for all of us. I love that. I love you guys weighing in on this. Can someone type the name of the abstracts books? Yes, can somebody help Christine out there, please? Because I don't have, the way this is up today, it doesn't look like I can do a whole lot of typing or anything. The app that Tanisha shared was Blinkist, just so you know. But the thing is find your rhythm. And I have too many people that will say, I don't have enough time. 15 minutes a day you have, and as Tony Robbins would say, if you can't find 10 minutes for yourself, you need an hour. So you have 15 minutes. You have 20 minutes. Give yourself, thank you, Tim, for putting that down. Who moved my cheese? Yes, I actually read that once in a library in 44 minutes because I couldn't put it down. I opened it, sat down on the thing, and was like, okay, I guess I don't need to buy this now. I just read it. And then someone gifted it to me. I actually have a gifted copy again. One of those spaces, it's Blink with a K, Blinkist with a, yes, it's the second one, Terry. Blinkist is the app, not Blinkit. I can't even say the first one. Blinkist. Yeah, it's got an L. It's Blinkist, and it's put together. Downloading from the App Store now. Awesome. Blink. I keep hearing Bleak. You guys are so awesome. You don't know how much you fill my cup every morning. This is why I was so excited that I got to be here with all of you this morning, because I'm kind of sad when I have those random days where with training or whatever, I just can't be here. And Tanisha and I were already talking about we might have to do another Facebook Live on a break just to tell you what's going on. Good morning, Ruben. Just to tell you all what's going on with the conference and what we're taking from it, and rich, juicy nuggets in the moment, because that's how I roll. I like to share with you real time things that are feeding me. Like I said, a lot of people know this about me. I teach what I need to learn. I teach what I get passionate and excited about, and I teach what starts to open up new access for me. And so I just want to bring that same thing to you. Over and out. I love you, Christine. Fantastic. And so hope all of you, I'm wishing you all a beautiful, self-filling, personal and professional growth weekend. It sounds like so many of you have some amazing workshops and events and things going on. I hope you will join us Monday. I want to get the report. I want to know what you extracted. Let's share. Let's use Monday as a share space on what your takeaways were, your ahas, what you learned at your event. So if you would come prepared, I would love some engagement Monday to know what you're doing. Some of you are going to some events I've never heard of. Kathy, I really want to know about that Empowered Empath one. Martha, I want to know what the Dale Carnegie workshop was like for you. It was a game changer. I've done it 4 times. Like I said, I was training to be an instructor. Absolutely powerful. Terry, I know you won't be back for a week. We will give you that space to share your update. Deb, want to hear from you. Those of you that are digging into some books this weekend, let's get on Monday and share our learnings. I really get excited about that. So hopefully that doesn't scare you guys and you actually show up on Monday. If not, you'll just get to hear me ramble about my amazing weekend. So you either can hear me ramble about my weekend, or you can come and show up and participate and share your learnings and share what's making you excited, what you're passionate about, and we can have a real dialogue like we're having today. And so can I just say thank you, all of you, for showing up every morning. I love this. This group gets bigger and bigger. We have such a powerful tribe. Thank you all for weighing in and chatting and all the new people that showed up today. Wow, just so excited to have you. Hope you will join us. I am here every day, Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. Central Time. And never know what we're going to talk about, right? It's an open space, it's an open forum, and it's whatever I'm inspired to share when we get on in the morning. So just want to say I honor all of you. I love you, and sending you all heart-to-heart hugs. Yes, everybody have a wonderful weekend, and thank you all for showing up so powerfully today. Great, Tim. It was so great having you here. Awesome. Have a great day and weekend. Cheers, everybody. Love you. I'll talk to you on Monday. Actually, we'll probably talk to you later today. So you never know. I might show up today and tomorrow a couple times. So stay tuned. Some surprises. Talk to y'all later.